and can play well on an instrument. For they hear your words, but they do them not. And when this comes to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. How will they know that it was a prophet among them? Because those things will come to pass. Okay? I cannot re-prophesy a prophecy. Hebrews chapter 12. But like we said in our previous sermon, we tend to go with the things that we have heard the most. And when we hear a lie 10 times, we give it more weight than the truth being told to us once. We allow that lie to build a emotional stronghold. And men don't like to say that they deal with emotion. We deal with just as much emotion as women. All right. We just don't display it the way that they do. The difference, men deal with their emotion. Women allow their emotion to deal with them. Now, they allow, a woman, understand, we're made out of two different things. A man was made out of the earth and a woman was made out of flesh. Okay. So being made out of that flesh, they tend to deal with emotions a whole lot more than us. But we deal with emotion and we say it ain't emotion. See, we just make emotion be like this manly thing. Yeah, that dude made me mad, man. Yeah, that dude, brother, that's all emotion, brother. That's all emotion. No, man, I just didn't appreciate it, man. I ain't emotional like no woman or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Dude pissed me off. Yeah, emotion. We just call it something else. All that pride and all that's emotion. You know, but understand, we were made in Yahweh's image. Yahweh said he gets angry. He says he gets jealous. So Yahweh got emotions too. So, but we try to make ourselves up to be so manly. I'm so manly. Oh, I don't deal with emotion. Well, whose image were you made in then? Because my God deals with emotion. I deal with emotion. My God deals with emotion. So if you don't deal with emotion, who made you? Right. All right, there's something wrong with that. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we're all compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us all lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Looking unto Yahshua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the torture stake, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Elohim. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest you be wearied and faint in your minds. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And you have forgotten the exhortation which speaks unto you as unto children. My son, despise not you the chastening of Yahweh, nor faint when you are rebuked of him. For whom Yahweh loves, he chastens and scourges every son whom he receives. If you endure chastening, Elohim deals with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are you bastards and not sons. And we know that a bastard is an illegitimate son. He cannot prove his heritage. Being among the family of Israel. So if Yahweh does not chasten you, you are not his son. You are somebody else's son. So if you are not Yahweh's son, who your daddy? Yep. Lou is your daddy. Go ahead, bro.
I was just going to remind everybody that we had learned that a bastard was a person who had a Hebrew father and a Gentile mother.
This thing goes within natural and spiritual, because now when you deal in the spiritual part of it, a brother can actually not be naturally Israel but still be spiritual Israel, because he allowed his heart to follow the ways of spiritual Israel. So don't get it twisted. You can be natural Israel and still not be spiritual Israel. So this thing goes both ways, because there's a whole lot of, remember he says all those that are of Israel are not Israel. There's a whole lot of people with natural Israel mama and natural Israel daddy, and they're going to get cut off. And there's other people that ain't natural, and now part of the way, but they spiritual Israel. So when you spiritual Israel, who your daddy? Then you're not illegitimate at all, are you? For Israel, the church is who? It says your father is Yahweh and the church is your mother. Then you fully covered. You Israel mama and daddy, spiritually. But we like to keep dealing in that natural thing. So you got a spiritual mama, which is the church, and a spiritual daddy, which is Yahweh. For you were born again, right? All right. So the natural thing don't even count no more. Verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening for the present seems to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see Yahweh. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace, that no man shall see Yahshua. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Elohim, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. And anything can be a root of bitterness if you let it grow within you. It says if a brother or sister have a fault with a brother, pull that brother to the side by yourself and talk to him. If that don't work, take 2 or 3 more people. And then if that doesn't work, then you take it before the church. Us not understanding the ways that those things are done, sometimes we have problems with a brother or sister, and we talk to every brother and every sister except the brother or the sister that we had the problem with. And now that thing has started to be a root of bitterness, and the sister or the brother might not even know they did nothing, because you done talk to everybody but them. And they like, bro, if I'd have known, I'm sorry, brother. I just do that sometimes, and I'm sorry. I apologize, and I pray to work on that. It might have been an accidental thing. So it could be a very thing that somebody did not really try to do, but because we didn't go to that person, now 2 things are happening. Now they not stopping because they don't know that they ticked you off. That's one thing. Now you are letting the root of bitterness grow inside of you because you keep talking about it to other people. And each time that root of bitterness is just keep growing. And that root of bitterness can cause a problem. Verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For you know that afterward, when you would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. For you are not coming to the mount that might be touched and that burn with fire, for unto blackness and darkness and tempest, and the sound of a trumpet and the voice of words, which voice they that heard entreated that the word should not be spoken to them anymore. For they could not endure that which was commanded. And if so much as a beast touch the mountain, it shall be stoned or thrust through with a dart. And so terrible was the sight that Moshe said, I exceedingly fear and quake. But you are coming to the Mount Sion and unto the city of the living Elohim, the heavenly Jerusalem, and unto innumerable company of angels, to the general assembly and the church of the firstborn. That's a very deep statement right there. Don't go past that line. To the general assembly and the church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to Elohim, to the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. And this is what we wish to be, just men being made perfect. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 18. For first of all, when you come together in the church, I hear that there be divisions among you, and I partly believe it. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. When you come together, therefore, into one place, this is not to eat the Adonai's supper. For in even eating, everyone takes before other his own supper, and one is hungry and another is drunken. What we have to do is make sure we don't take for granted the assembling of ourselves together. We have liberties that were given unto us, but there's a difference between walking in the spirit of the law and walking in the liberty. See, if you walk in the spirit of the law, if you fall, you land in liberty. If you walk in the liberty, when you fall, you land in the lake of fire. So you want to be careful about walking in those liberties. You know, we congregate and we fellowship and we do, you know, all things of such, but it's not for us to you know, eat 5 plates of food and drink until we get drunken and pass out. This is not what we've lived through those things before. We have saw those things where immediately, you know, after reading Yahweh's word, we come out and a brother's so drunk, he can't stand up. And we're like, what is going on here? We have to make sure that we don't get off into those things. Because, see, we get to drinking and we got them loose lips. We got them loose lips and we go to talking and doing things, you know. Drink. What did Yahweh? Yahweh absolutely had nothing against drinking, but he had something against that public drunkenness. You don't get drunk. Do that at your house. You don't get drunk. You drink. And as grown men, we learn how to drink. I remember being a young cat, and my brother was like, bro, you need to slow that down. Slow that down. I ain't know how to drink. Well, I'm drinking. Kept on drinking. And my brother like, you need to slow that down. You need to slow that down. And then, not even understanding how to drink, I start mixing drinks. I got beer and I got liquor, and I'm going to town. And then I start going to sleep on the motor train. And he hit me. Oh, look at you. You can't hang. Boom. I went back. And when I came up, all over my brother. And he was just like, good God. So here it is. He smelled like death. He got to take me to clean me up before he can send me back home. So we on the motor train. He smelled like vomit. He got to take me somewhere and feed me. So I can't go because, you know, then I'm going to show up. My mama going to be like, well, what you done to my baby? This boy drunk. So I had to eat. He had to, you know, try to get me sobered up. Then he sent me home, you know, the whole time. Now, he still smells like death while he's doing it. And everybody walking by him like, good night. But he's still worrying about me, you know. So because I didn't know how to do. But when I was a child, I did things as a child. But when I became a man and growing up and learning those things, even in the world, for these are worldly things, that I put away those childish things in the world. So now being in the word, as a child, I can do these things without even thinking. So we must learn our own limits of things so that we don't let things get out of hand. Verse 22, what? Have you not houses to eat and drink in? Or despise you the church of Elohim and shame them that have not? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not. You know, we have people that may be hungry and people that may need things, you know. Then you have other situations where you got people, and we've seen it before. We came from a situation looking where folks just piling up food to take it home. Just piling up. They feeding people that ain't even a bit more thought about coming to church. They taking all kind of stuff. And it's just like, when you get to a point of gluttony, you dealing with covetousness, which is what? A sin. And now you have brought all of that into Yahweh's holy Sabbath day and saying in the same breath, I kept the Sabbath. Did you really? Verse 23, for I received of Yahshua that which also I delivered unto you, that the Adonai Yahshua, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do you as oft as you drink it in remembrance of me. Now, this, of course, is talking about the Passover things, and we know we're not doing that every time we get together, but some people do. Some people do it every 30 days. I don't know where they get that cycle from and where they get that from, but they do this every 30 days. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Adonai's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Adonai unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of Yahshua. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Psalms chapter 89. Psalms 89. Psalms 89, verse 1. I will sing of the mercies of Yahweh forever. With my mouth will I make known your faithfulness to all generations. For I have said, mercy shall be built up forever. Your faithfulness shall you establish in the very heavens. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David my servant. Your seed will I establish forever, and build up your throne to all generations. And the heavens shall praise your wonders, O Yahweh, your faithfulness also in the congregation of the saints. For who in the heaven can be compared unto Yahweh? Who among the sons of the mighty can be likened unto Yahweh? Elohim is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reverence of all them that are about him. Verse 7, Elohim is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints. That's one of those spirits, the fear of Yahweh. See? There's the spirit of fear amongst the assembly of his saints. So that's why the other people say, well, we don't have to do this. You know, that was nailed to the cross. They don't have the spirit of fear to follow Yahweh. Verse 8, O Yahweh Elohim of hosts, who is a strong Yahweh like unto thee, or to your faithfulness round about you? You rules the raging of the sea when the waves thereof rise. You stillest them. Thou hast broken Rahab in pieces as one that is slain. You have scattered your enemies with your strong arm. The heavens are yours, the earth also is yours. As for the world and the fullness thereof, you have founded them. The north and the south you have created them. Tabor and Hermon shall rejoice in your name. You have a mighty arm, strong is your hand, and high is your right hand. Justice and judgment are the habitation of your throne. Mercy and truth shall go before your face. Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Yahweh, in the light of your countenance. In your name shall they rejoice all the day, and in your righteousness shall they be exalted. For you are the glory of their strength, and in your favor our horn shall be exalted. For Yahweh is our defense, and the Holy One of Israel is our king. Then thou spake in a vision to your Holy One, and said, I have laid help upon one that is mighty. I have exalted one chosen out of the people. I have found David my servant, with my holy oil have I anointed him, with whom my hand shall be established. Mine arm also shall strengthen him. The enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him. And I will beat down his foes before his face, and plague them that hate him. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him, and in my name shall his horn be exalted. I will set his hand also in the sea, and his right hand in the rivers. He shall cry unto me, you are my Father, my Elohim, and the rock of my salvation. Also I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the earth. That's a heavy statement right there. My mercy will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him. His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. If his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgments, if they break my statutes and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgression with the rod, and their iniquity with stripes. Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my faithfulness to fail. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Once I have sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me. Have y'all considered, just as there are 12, we all talk about the tribe of this and the tribe of that. Have you considered that there are the sons of David walking around? Consider that. The very, very house in which Yahweh made the covenant. There are sons of David walking about. And we can't guess what those people look like. The dude might be walking around with his pants, showing his pretty drawers with 4 or 5 gold teeth in his head, not knowing exactly who he is. It might be some of us that's sitting in here right now. That is a serious thing, to be of the house of David. It's power in that lineage. See, Yahweh has a lineage of certain things. We like to place ourselves in the lineage of things that don't even have a lineage. There ain't no lineage of prophets. Yahweh chooses prophets as he saw fit. There is no lineage of prophets. You don't become a prophet because your daddy was a prophet. That's not how prophecy works. But that's how the priesthood works. And Yahweh said we were to be a kingdom of priests. Prophets, Samuel was a great prophet. They didn't like his sons, though. When you find those things, there's not a lineage in that. So nobody can put themselves in a line where there is no line. But Yahweh did make a lineage of priests, and then said that Israel was going to be a nation of priests unto him. All right. So when you deal with that seed of David, then you're talking about kingship and priesthood. Now that's power. Verse 37. But we have to be taught how to deal with power. Because when you find somebody that's new to power, brother, they are reckless with that power. Very reckless. And we have to learn how to deal with power. Verse 37. It shall be established forever as the moon and as the faithful witness in heaven. But you have cast off and abhorred that thou hast been wroth with thine anointed. You have made void the covenant of your servant. You have profaned his crown by casting it to the ground. You have broken down all his hedges. You have brought up his strongholds to ruin. All that pass by the way spoil him. He is a reproach to his neighbors. You have set up the right hand of his adversaries. You have made all his enemies to rejoice. You also turned the edge of his sword and have not made him to stand in the battle. You have made his glory to cease and cast his throne to the ground, down to the ground. The days of his youth have you shortened. You have covered him with shame. How long, Yahweh, will you hide yourself forever? Shall your wrath burn like fire? Remember how short my time is. Wherefore have you made all men in vain? What man is he that lives and shall not see death? Shall he deliver his soul from the hand of the grave? Yahweh, where are your former loving kindnesses, which you swear unto David in your truth? Remember, Yahweh, the reproach of your servants, how I do bear in my bosom the reproach of all the mighty people. As it is said, I have been made to bear the reproach of all those that hate you. Wherewith thine enemies have reproached, O Yahweh, wherewith they have reproached the footsteps of thine anointed. Blessed be Yahweh forevermore. Amen and amen. And let us remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. And we know that we have children amongst us, and we do not place the same weight upon them that we place among ourselves. And the Sabbath should be a joyous thing unto us all, but we have to be careful about doing our own pleasures and growing too deep within those pleasures on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. For this is his day. It is his holy Sabbath from sundown to sundown. This day belongs to Yahweh. Let him glory in it and not us. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.